Defect Spec, Swagglehaus in the house, coming up next.
What is up, Defects? Back with another Defect Spec video. This time we have a special guest, my buddy Swaggle, in the house today, guys, for a two-part video. Guys, you're going to find the second half of this video. The link's going to be in the description below. Make sure you go check out Swagglehaus. If you're not subscribed to him, you got to subscribe to him. Check him out. Awesome comic book content. Again, guys, the link is in the description. Also, we have that 5,000 subscriber giveaway coming up. A couple of videos back. Check that out. Make sure you use hashtag Pressable Defects. Leave a comment, and you'll be entered to win some awesome prizes. Swaggle, tell them what's up, baby.
Yeah, let me just start by saying thank you guys so much for having me on your channel. And yeah, this is going to be fun. We got some great spec books to talk about. Hopefully, the Pressable Defect viewers will like the picks here today. And yeah, can't wait to get into it with you guys.
Awesome, brothers. So as Matt says, without further ado, let's get into some books. All right, Defects, you know how it goes. We always let our guests go first. So Swagglehaus, take it away, brother.
All right, well, first up here, we got Fantastic Four Annual number 25. And what is the significance of this? Well, there's a couple things here. Number one, this is the first appearance of the city known as Chronopolis. And then number two, this is the first appearance of I guess you would call them a superhero team or maybe a villain team, depending on how you look at it, of the Anachronauts. Now, what is Chronopolis and who are the Anachronauts? Well, we all know that, Kang is coming, right? We all know that Jonathan Majors is playing Kang. There's talk of him showing up in Ant-Man 3. In fact, I actually think that that's confirmed. And what we got in Ant-Man 2 was a little Easter egg of a mini city down in the quantum realm. And that city is having everyone suspect that it's actually Chronopolis. And so in this book right here, this is where that first appearance of that city takes place. On top of that, the Anachronauts are kind of like, think of them as Kang's Black Order. It's the hired muscle for Kang the Conqueror here, right? So if we know that we're getting Kang the Conqueror, we know that Ant-Man's going to show up in Chronopolis, perhaps in Ant-Man 3 and go against Kang. He's going to need some punching bags to go against. So this is a book that I really like for that reason. We're going to that city. There's those villains that, Ant-Man is going to fight against. On top of that, I think it's a great cover. We know anything that has characters that show up, in the MCU, like a Kang the Conqueror, anything that touches those characters, once we actually have their appearances, those get really hot. So this is a book that I think is super interesting. It feels like no matter how we're going to deal with Kang and which way we're going to go through his story, it feels like we're going to have to make our way through Chronopolis and the Anachronauts in some kind of way. So for that reason, this is a book that I'm pretty bullish on overall.
Yeah, I love it, man. And I love how you compared it to Thanos and the Black Order, because that's exactly what it sounds like. So great pick, my man.
Yeah, double spec. And honestly, you literally said everything I was going to say after you were done. So great job. Awesome. And I think this is kind of like a Loki semi-inspired pick, right? I feel like I've seen all the picks today, and I feel a lot of them are kind of Loki inspired, I should say. So
absolutely. There's definitely, some other things I'm gonna throw in once we get to some other books on the list.
Love it. All right. That's me. I'm next up.
Let's go, Matty Forge.
You guys are probably thinking what is this cover? And this is an interesting one. And before I even say anything, I'm going to preface this as this is an extreme long shot, and it's a cheap book, so it's worth bringing up. It's like I said, Loki inspired. So Marvel Knights 4 is the title. It's kind of confusing, and it's number 16, issue number 16 from Marvel in 2005. This is the first and only appearance, as far as I could find throughout my research, of the fourth. That's right, the fourth timekeeper. Okay, she doesn't technically have a name. They just call him the Oracle, and he's from Siwa, so they call him the Oracle of Siwa. And he was banished to Egypt. I'm going to just say he. I'll say it. It was banished to Egypt after being created by He Who Remains. So in the comics, they retconned it, and there is a fourth timekeeper. For those of you that are watching Loki, we know the timekeepers are a huge part of that. So there's not much beyond that to say. Like I said, this is a long shot. Do not overpay for this book. Okay. If you're coming here from Swaggle's channel, you're a defect already. I'm telling you right now, do not overpay for this book, because I'll say it's going to be a long shot at best, but why not cover your bases for a $4 or $5 book, right? So keep an eye out for it. I feel like it's worth a pickup, because you never know what Kevin Feige has up his sleeve. Maybe they throw in that fourth timekeeper. Who the hell knows? So what do you guys think?
Great pick, Maddie. Hey, you never know what they're going to throw in. And we know the timekeepers are hot right now. And I didn't even know there was a fourth timekeeper about till 30 seconds ago when you announced it. So
that's why I bring the research.
Yeah.
Awesome digging, brother.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't know that about the fourth timekeeper either, but just looking at that cover, we got some Egyptian flair on there. We got a Mortis, we got Kang, we got timekeepers. Like, all this stuff is connected in some kind of way. So, why not if you can find this book for cheap?
That's it. Like I said, I'll preface it again. This is a long shot, but a cheap book, so worth a grab.
All right, next up here, we got Secret War #1, written by Brian Michael Bendis in 2004. Now, Secret War #2 is the book that I think gets a lot of attention, a lot of love. That's the first appearance of Quake. Famously, she was the star of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and who knows, maybe she's going to make a return. But I wanted to talk about Secret War #1 because this is the first appearance of a character known as Lucia von Bardas. Now, who is Lucia von Bardas? Well, she's female Doctor Doom. You might want to call her that, or you could call her, she's the Prime Minister of Latveria. She's kind of had her hands sort of in, she's served alongside of Doctor Doom. She's had her hands in the politics of Latveria. And she's kind of an interesting character, I feel like, overall, as it relates to, what could happen in the MCU. I mean, I think we all feel like Doctor Doom's going to come. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty safe bet overall. So, I have a feeling that when Feige brings in Doom, he's going to do it right. He's going to bring in Latveria. He's going to have, the whole political scene with that country set. And I feel like Lucia von Bardas is kind of the way in to that, so I could see her being, Doom's assistant, or perhaps, she makes an appearance first, and that brings in Latveria, and then we get Doom after that. So this is one that I'm pretty excited about overall.
Yeah, man. As a Doom fan, I'm excited. And what other way to bring him in, right? Someone has to do Doom right. And if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Kevin Feige. So Defects, another book to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, I love the kind of the secondary and tertiary Doom books, because his main books are super expensive, right? So to find those $5 to $20 range books for Doom is important, and this is great pick. Great pick.
All right, guys. Finally me, right? These guys come with the scalpel, and I hit you with the baseball bat, as they like to say. This one is very blunt and in your face, guys. It's from, Thor Love and Thunder is coming up. This is Thor #8 from July 2015. It's written by Jason Aaron and illustrated by Russ Dutterman. What it is, guys, a little double spec here, too. Thor is revealed to be Jane Foster, right? Not the first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor, but she is revealed to be Thor. Not only that, in the end of this book, it is revealed that she is battling the late stages of cancer, right? So here it goes with this. Jane Foster in the comic books, obviously a nurse, always dealing with cancer. It's almost her worst enemy. Her mother died from cancer. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it gets progressively worse in the comic books. She becomes the new Thor. She's worthy. But here's the thing. Every time she wields Mjolnir, it makes the cancer worse because the magic takes the chemo treatment out of her blood, and she knows this. So she gets progressively sicker. And that's what makes her actually more worthy in this storyline. So where does this fit in, right? Interview with Natalie Portman on fatherly.com. They asked her about story plot. She didn't reveal much, but what she did reveal is the story arc is going to be taken from the Mighty Thor. And in the movie, Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, will be dealing with cancer as she's a superhero on the side. So guys, this book, I don't know how it's not starting to shoot up, because we got the facts right there. In a CGC 9.8, last sale on this book was $83, and the 90-day average is $104 for an all-black book in a CGC 9.8. And we like to call it here, Swaggle, the Agatha effect. People don't start buying this book till they actually see it. And this is one of those books, guys. Double spec. You know she's going to be battling cancer in the movie, and you know Natalie Portman's jacked up right now. We know she's going to be some way, shape, or form Thor. We don't know for how long. So a book I decided, you know what, it's definitely going to go up. Might as well throw it on the video.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a great pick, and like you said, you know, I came across that kind of leak plot point about Natalie Portman, you know, having the cancer as well, and this is the book. Like, this is the book where that happens, and you know, anytime we kind of see those, you know, those books that the films take, you know, or pay homage to in terms of the storyline as they relate to like MCU properties. I mean, those books have always gotten super, super hot, like the ones we've seen with WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier. So this is one, like you said, definitely still kind of sleeper, but no doubt when we get closer to that movie, this one's going to definitely spike up.
Yeah, great info, Jay. A lot of research there. And you just basically, sometimes people just need to throw all the pieces and glue them together for it to all of a sudden click. And I think you just did that. So I don't think this book's going to be under the radar anymore.
All right, Defects. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you came over here from Swaggle, be sure to give us a sub. And the flip side, guys, if you're a Defect going over to Swaggle, the link's in the description. Give him a sub. And be on the lookout for that 5K giveaway, guys. Swaggle, tell them what you got going on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on the channel. It's definitely been fun. Be sure to hop over to my channel to get the other 4 books, or if you're hopping over from my channel and this is the you know, second time you're watching the spec video, definitely give these guys a sub. Man, Principal Defects, one of the great, you know, comic book content channels in the community. You guys do awesome videos, and if you're a Swag fan, you're definitely going to be a Principal Defect fan. In case you guys haven't found out about them yet, so give them a sub, get them the 5K, and thanks again for having me on.
Anytime, brother.